one and all to the K.O.E. Nation for a premium wine review. Welcome back, folks. I thought it was time to get back into the Vino Veritas, am I right? And considering I was the Grand Slam champion of the golden bottle, yes, an empty bottle is still gold. Yes, I won this amazing prize in a wine-off competition with Nurse Ratch. Definitely check that out. I thought this would be a good time to get back into a little bit of wine, and I thought, why not Pinot Noir? Yes, Sideways fans, Pinot. So I thought this Bella Glos from Las Alturas, I've been looking into this vineyard, I've been curious, and I wanted to get into it. Now what's kind of neat is they've got this wax on the top of the bottle. It very much reminds me of Maker's Mark. I mean, that's going to be the first thing that you think when you see it, but let's see how easy this comes apart. I'm very curious. I want to do this on camera for all of you. So far, not too hard. It's coming right out. Okay. All right. All right, that was not difficult at all. Not difficult at all. Let's see how the cork manages, folks. But yes, what I like about Las Alturas is on the back of the bottle, they'll say the soil, which is glorious sandy loam, climate cool, very sunny. The elevation, 540 to 1,210 feet. The season, bloom to harvest. That gives you the exact dates from 5/18 to 9/18. Growing season, average temp was 75.8 degrees Fahrenheit in the daytime. And here's the big one. French oak barrel aging, 9 months. So this one's gonna have a bit more cask influence than your average wine. And yes, it's been a while since I've gotten into a bottle of some good old California red, but I've been looking forward to this one. And yes, for those who don't know, always use the server's lever. Get it down as far as you can. Use your first set. Use those first set of hooks there to initially get it up as much as you can. Then the second pair. Voila. Wine's not corked. Marvelous. Now the pour, folks. Interesting. All right. Well, folks, this is the part that everybody loves. Bit of a swirl. Get some oxygen in there. You want to get as much oxygen as you can in there. I'm not one for normally decanting wines. And I think a wine like this doesn't necessarily require it. It can help, but I sometimes just take the wine as is. Now, if you're talking very, very old wines or certain vintages, I could understand how some wine snobs would insist, but all right. Well, that's good. It's got some legs. Excellent, excellent. You always want a wine with legs. Let's see how it hits the nose. Plums and red fruits. There's a sandy earthiness to it. Marvelous stuff. This is Pinot, but this is a rich Pinot because there's some Pinots that, to be frank, can be a little light in its color. This one, not at all. Even on in the borders. In fact, I'm just going to come around and show you, folks. There you are. So you can see even the borders there stay good and consistent. Oh man, this is I don't want to say meaty, but because I've had wines with noses that are not good with meaty, but this is good. I'm already enjoying this nose tremendously. This one would hold up to most, just on nose. I think this one would hold up to a lot of meals. So let's see how it hits the palate, folks. That's the most important part. That meatiness comes through a little bit more in the palate, but in a good way. Like Normally when I drink wine, I want it to be very fruit forward, sweet. This one I think would really match well with a lot of red meats, even lamb. A lot of different meats would work with this one. Fascinating, that very sweet, marvelous aroma out of the wine. The flavor is very, very earthy, grounded, and I think it has a lot to do with that oak influence. But going for the second drink, folks. Okay, now I've kind of got it. There's that meatiness there, but there's also like wrapped in this dark chocolate flavor. So, not a bad wine if I do say so myself. And, oh, wow, they really go the extra mile here. It's got Bella Glos, Las Alturas, and Santa Lucia Highlands, Monterey County, California. It's got it all right there on the cork, which is actually pretty neat. And, oh wow. It's even got it upside down, so the way that you would want to seat the cork once you reseal it. Wow, well done, well done. 3 cheers for this particular vineyard. Now we have to get into the grading. This is the difficult part. We're gonna grade this one on a few different scales. We're gonna grade it as a California wine, as a red wine, and as a Pinot Noir. So then the secret 4th question for those who are new here. So let's start off with as a Pinot Noir. As a Pinot, this is a lot thicker, a lot heavier in its aromas and in its flavors. And even I'm used to a Pinot, and this is a fine California. Like, this is one that would stand up to a lot of red meat meals, a lot of very fatty meats. This one would stand up just fine. So as a Pinot Noir, as a guy who does love himself some red wine, I'm a bit more into the world of Cab and Dornfelders, but this one, you really can't call yourself a red wine lover unless you get into the world of Pinot a little bit. As a Pinot Noir, I think some folks are going to think I'm a little bit generous, but I do not. As a Pinot Noir, I'm going to give this 3.75 stars out of a 5-star scale. Yes, folks, yes. It's marvelous stuff as a just Pinot up against the world of Pinot. This would stack up. Now here's a couple of interesting worlds. In the world of California wine, that's a tough one because that is a wide, wide world of sports and a very competitive world of sports. This one's from Monterey County, and they are competing with Sonoma County, with Napa Valley, very stiff competition. But regardless, nonetheless, this one stacks. This one, I'm gonna give 3.5 stars as a California wine. Are there better ones out there? Sure, but this one only cost me around $45. It wasn't even 50 bucks. So this one, you're gonna get a lot of that California craftsmanship, and you're not necessarily gonna pay those over-the-top California vintage prices. So not bad in that regard. As a red wine, it's a pretty big world now, ain't it, folks? There's a lot of great red wines. I'm gonna give it 3. It's an excellent, excellent red wine. 2.5 is kind of that median where it's just like, hey, you know, take it or leave it. I'm gonna say this is a 3 stars because it's definitely worth checking out. Are there better red wines in the world? Sure, yes, of course. But this one is quite the good one. You're gonna get quite a bit of quality. And if you're a Cabernet Sauvignon lover who's maybe a little skeptical on Pinot, this would be an excellent place to dip your toes in. So marvelous stuff. Now, The secret fourth question, folks, is when this bottle runs empty, will I seek another one? I'm going to give a bit of a caveat, yes and no, because Las Alturas is just one of 3 vineyards that Bella Glos grows Pinot Noir. So I'm definitely gonna keep one of these on the shelves going forward, but I'm gonna discover their other 2 vineyards before I decide which one of the 3 is my favorite, because this is actually very good stuff. And I'm also kind of curious though, let me know in the comments if you know, because of this wax, if you store it, make sure it's in there, if you store it on its side, will it be able to micro-oxidize with the wax? I'm very curious. Part of me thinks it shouldn't matter, a part of me thinks that there's no way to work. So I'm a little torn. I'm curious what you all think. Please let me know in the comments section. So folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, this has been my review of Bella Glos Pinot Noir from Las Alturas. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., the red wine lover himself, signing off and handing it off. Folks, raise a glass of whatever you're drinking to yourself. I hand it off to you, and I will catch you next time. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. I am Phil K.O.E.